Welcome all. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. I'm live and I'm alive. I'm live and alive. Woo. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining the Guru Mama Show. I'm Mary Jane Tracy and a psychic medium, spiritual love of life coach, an astrologer, coming to you with 411 of the shenanigans of above, so below, and how those shenanigans above can relate to that of the shenanigans below. So we got a lot of shenanigans, just keep coming. But it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a new day, a day we've never lived before. This is where it's the last week of Mercury retrograde. Mercury's coming off of Chiron. So it's giving us some really beautiful insight. So insight is coming. Yay, give me it. I need the insight. Just bring it down to me, please. Uh, help me to see things a little bit more better. Skeletons in the closet being cleared out. Oh, yeah, there's a little bit, yeah. Still some skeletons in there. I think I got to clean. Um, waiting for that fresh new sheet of paper and just writing your fresh new story, like putting that down there. And there's still a lot of Pisces energy, of course, because we got Mars and Saturn and Neptune all in Pisces. So, we can get lost in delusions and stubbornness and things along that line. I mean, yeah, so you got to watch yourself there. But for the most part, except for, there is an opposition with Leo, the moon in Leo to Pluto, it's not a bad day. I mean, we are building up to this huge conjunction, which I'm having a wonderful meditation on Saturday night. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but I don't want to meditate on a Saturday night. But I feel like this meditation is because there's so many doors that are opening and there's so many great opportunities that come into this lifetime or come into our lifetime. If you think 13 years ago when Saturn and when Saturn and Uranus met in Aries and when they conjuncted in Aries, that's a 13-year cycle. So there's a lot of cycles within cycles within cycles when we're dealing with astrology. Some are huge cycles, which are long ones. Some of them are smaller cycles, like, from a new moon to a full moon, etc. Good afternoon, Derek. I hope all is fine with you. And so there's all these wonderful cycles that are happening. This cycle that's coming together, especially with that Uranus and Jupiter connection in Taurus, is a new one that's coming in, a new breath of fresh air, a new cycle, shall I say, that's coming forth. And with this new cycle, it's opening a lot of doorways, many doorways. And it's really for us just to allow ourselves to walk through, just to go for it, because the synchronicities are all coming together in order to pave our new way. Now, 13 years ago, I was working at Community Natural Foods. I know I'm a person, I'm a jack of all trades. I am a holistic nutritionist. And I was there and I worked as a holistic nutritionist, right? And I thought it was a good job. It was kind of an odd job. I was the assistant manager. I was working in the health side of it. And it was where I wanted to do more, but I worked on a Virgo team. Now, when you get a lot of Virgos, oh my gosh, I had a Virgo manager, all the girls under me were Virgos. And it was just like, okay, I love Virgos, but this is just crazy. And being a Scorpio with a bunch of Virgos is not a good thing because one, they either feel threatened, overwhelmed with my energies, is just too much for them. I'm the kind of person that will say, oh, you want to take the whole aisle apart and redo it? Good on ya. Have fun, kind of thing. Because that's what they love to do. They love to reorganize and do things and whatever. And it's like, for me, it's like I like to have sort of a plan. Well, what do you want to do? Give me the bottom line. Don't just like this morning. I'll give you, for instance, this morning I had to pick up number 2 son, Edward. So go to pick him up, right? And you know what? It was like Are you, like, you wanted me to bring you this. You're not texting me back. I need to know what you want to do. Like, I need to know what is happening. This is the way I work. And then it gets done. Don't answer me. Don't ghost me. So I ended up having to call him, and he was saying, well, I was reading my books. I got an exam. I don't give a fuck if you got an exam. You asked me for something. I'm wanting direct information. Going back to my job 13 years ago, not getting a direct line of communication from my manager, sending me off on different things and all kind of bullshit. There was a Stampede breakfast and I really wanted to be involved, but no, that's her thing. You can't do that kind of stuff. It was just really, anyways, crazy. So all of a sudden one day, and this is after the Fukushima thing, because Fukushima, everybody remember Fukushima, the whole thing. After the Fukushima thing and that whole fiasco of ordering everything and getting the thyroid medicine for people, because we're all, really worried about what was going to happen, right? I need lipstick. So after that whole fiasco and stuff, I get called into the office and I thought, holy shit, what did I do? And I'm going through all my scenarios of the shit I could have done, which didn't seem like I couldn't even figure it out. Anyways, they dissolved my position. My position was gone. And they gave me a big payout. And my as of that day, my position was gone. Like, I was just like so dumbfounded. Came out of the blue. That's Uranus. It came out of the blue. Was not expecting it whatsoever. And it sent me on a spiral of many different opportunities and roads that opened from there. Some good, some bad, some sort of like just took me on some crazy tours and different jobs and things like that. But it ended. It's just like ended. Everything just ended. That's what Jupiter Uranus is. Jupiter Uranus, when it comes together, it ends things and brings in other opportunity, brings in something new, something sudden that you were not expecting at all. Here comes my lovely husband. He made me coffee. I love you. Thank you. And you just weren't expecting it. But other opportunities where Olivia was graduating, I think she was graduating grade 7 or 8. It's hard to believe now. But, and I ended up helping my girlfriend who was opening up a new Little Caesars. She owns 3 of them. I worked there for a short period of time and I had to leave, right? How you been, like your hairstyle? Then, from there, Declan Joe says she wants a coffee. Okay, he said, just wait. When are you going to be here? Then from there, I ended up, I think was Target came to Canada. That was interesting. And trying to get my business going at the same time. So doing markets, big markets, getting out there, doing all this kind of stuff, promoting, it was kind of like a crazy change, plus the other craziness that was happening in my house. But abrupt changes were coming in. And I knew over the next 13 years, there's going to be some really abrupt, some crazy things that are going to take me into new situations. Some good, some bad. They were what they were, right? And that's what you got to look at is like this opportunity that's coming in is really going to bring forth something new, something amazing doors opening, right? But it's shedding the old shit, right? What's in the closet? Derek says he's a lovely Leo. I love Leos. I have a lot of Leo friends. Leos I can handle because Leos are who I know, like, you know what? The one thing about Leos, they're loud and proud. They really are. I just love it. My father was a Leo. They're going to say what they're going to say and they're going to do what they're going to do. But when you get a bunch of Virgos around, oh my God, it's a whole, like, God bless the Virgos, but they can be something else. Love them, but they can be very, anyways. But even if you get, I think if you get too much of any sign around, it could be a little bit cray, just saying, But that's the whole thing. It's like this is a re-identifying, especially when you have this Mercury retrograde, right? It's ending and it's off of Chiron. This is a re-identification of who you are. This is a a newness is coming in, and life to go, it's like not to go so deep down, oh my god, these shadows, right? You know how we go down the deep ends of our shadows, and oh woe is me, oh my god, look at this, oh my god, I gotta fix this. This is to really just to look at it and say, yeah, this is shit. I don't need this anymore. Goodbye. I'm stepping out in the new, and stepping out into my truth. That's the highest form, the truth, because the truth, as they say, the truth will set you free. The truth is going to open up clarity, right? Open up this clarity. It ends this week. That's all you need to know. Just and opening up this clarity, opening up what it is and the opportunities that can come your way. And as we open up these clarities, as we open up this newness, it is allowing us to step through all of these different opportunities. Now, the thing is that being an astrologer, free will is like something is what I hate to say, I don't really believe in free will. I believe in fate. I believe in, synchronicity and things working out the way that they need. I believe that, yes, in the hard work that you do does pay off, but it's also the alignment of the energies when you're listening to your own intuition and your guidance. Gotta take another sip of sip of coffee. Hey, Lexi. That's when things really open up. If we're not listening, and we get hung up in our ego, it's our ego that gets us to think, oh, yeah, I got free will. I could do whatever the fuck I want. I could do this. And that's when you start seeing, that's when you start seeing the person tripping themselves going up the stairs, or just doing all these crazy things and just falling, instead of opening up to the higher truths and saying, hey, I am opening up to the guidance. I am opening up to the higher beings. I'm opening up to the Lord. I'm opening up to the Lady. I'm opening up, and I'm allowing myself to be guided and do the work that I need to do along with this guidance. That's the biggest piece. That is the biggest piece, right? And it's letting go of the past, letting go of whatever's hanging on to you, and saying, no, you have to do it this way. If you're hanging on to something that I need, like there's certain things, yeah, that you hang on to, that I have. Like I have certain memorable pieces that I carry with me wherever I move, and they're with me. It's, it's not letting go of things like that, but there's certain parts of yourself, or certain parts that, I've been hanging on to this grudge or whatever it is for too long. It's not even worth it. I don't need to hang on to that energy of being there anymore. So it's opening up to newness. So letting go, and obsessed. If you're obsessed over something, it's to disconnect. If you're totally obsessed over something, you're disconnecting from what it is within your true happiness, and not allowing that happiness. If you're still pissed off at your sister or your brother or your mother or your father, whoever the fuck it is, if you're still pissed off at them, if you're pissed off, oh, my mother was not there, and you're over the age of 18, time to get a new one, baby. Time to grow the fuck up. All right? Because for whatever reason, you're still here. You're still here, right? And if you need to like disconnect from, oh, my brother was an asshole, or my sister was an asshole, or this is what they did, disconnect from it, because it's not allowing you to have your happiness. It's not allowing you to step into that joy. And it's one of those things where just like, oh, okay, all right, this is what I need to do. I think of the bishop that was just stabbed. And in fact, I think the guy didn't even take the sheath off of the knife when he went to stab him. But After the stabbing, the bishop got up and just prayed for him. Just basically prayed for him and told everybody else to start praying. Pray for them. Pray, pray for those who don't know. Pray for them. Because they don't know, they don't understand. And when you start praying for them and giving them up to the Holy Spirit and asking for inner peace and a miracle, that's when things start to happen. That's one of the things when people tell me about, oh, well, this person, I said, give them up to the Holy Spirit and ask for inner peace and the miracle. The more you do that, the more you find inner peace. And sometimes you got to do it 1,000,001 times a day, because there is something there, because we are human, that we held the grudge, that we held something there. But when we're giving it up and say, this is out of my control, because I'm choosing happiness, I'm choosing gratitude, I'm choosing something more. And that's where that Jupiter Neptune conjunction in Taurus, because it has to do with our world, it has to do with our ego, how we look at our things, how we do our money, how we do our business, how do we create things. And with this opposition of the moon in Leo opposite with Pluto, it's really looking at how are we connecting. And it could be with new connections. Within those connections, having those new connections and allowing ourselves to be guided not only by the light, but by internal light. And sometimes that, because we get so busy, we forget. So this is really allowing ourselves to, if we're holding ourselves back through the illusions, through something, if we're holding ourselves back, we're going to not see those doors that are opening up and that are coming forth for us. This is, especially with, we have a Venus coming and it's conjuncting the North Node. It's shedding the old shit, shedding that new. It's when we are so hung up on certain values that it has to be this way, and belief systems that we have to have it looking this way, that we are totally missing the grandeur picture of it all. And that's where I feel things are coming in. Something frustrating you, that your throat is stuck. Are you telling you? What shock are you telling you? I just had this conversation, like literally with a friend of mine in Ontario with her daughter and herself. Oh, cool. With my throat, it's very dry in here. It snowed, so it's very dry down here. So that's the other thing too. And I haven't been drinking a lot of water today. So, so I need water. That's why I'm having coffee, right? So you got to follow them and see how they play out. And this is where it's the best time to really see how they're going to play out. We're entering into some really crazy drama, and the whole theatrics of this drama that's going to be being played out. And this drama is really it's going to be in our face, and this is where we have to look at, am I going to fall into that drama? Am I going to play into that which is being played out for me, that which is being shown to me? And I saw and I think it was the same bishop, saying that, about praying for our leaders, or praying for certain leaders to get in. And he was doing a special prayer for Donald Trump. And I know some people love him, some people hate him. I get it. But he was basically saying this isn't to do with him per se. This is to do with the Lord, with God, that they need somebody in there who's going to be a voice or be that change and not be afraid to say the things that need to be said. And that's the whole thing. That's the truth. I mean, there are going to be some things he may not. Chances of him not saying things is just not going to happen. But it is within that realm of looking at what we need to sort of hand over and do those prayers with. So pretty good. Excuse my coughing and my sniffling. I was sneezing like crazy before, and then my cough, crazy. There's just going to be so many transformations that are going to be coming in, and it's not to be afraid. And also because we're Elgul is the fixed star in Taurus, and with everything coming up with this transit of conjunction is really watching your drug and alcohol intake. I would say don't drink. Really, don't. Because especially if you're feeling lost, or if you're feeling out of sorts, really the drinking is just going to take you down a crazier road. So that's the other thing, especially when you get things close to algo, because it'll distort things even more than what they're already distorted. So good possibilities that are coming in. So make sure you're registered for Saturday, and coming to the meditation, right? So because algo is the star for alcohol and alcoholism. So, and when you're getting a big conjunction like this on there, and still we have a shitload of energy in Pisces, it can make things feel very distorted, and you won't get into your truth, and it'll block and really fuck with the ego, really fuck with your ego on the direction of where you want to go. So watching the alcohol consumption is really a big one. So let's pull some cards. And the other thing, last week, shuffling away, more thoughts come in. Just changing it on another route is because there's just so much drama in the world right now, and the craziness that's coming in. It's really important to pray for those. I can, the other thought that came in, we're going on a different road right now. If you just give me a moment, is I can see how people, when they die, are afraid. I can really see that, understanding, especially when you're seeing so much craziness within the world, and disillusionments and detachments from a person's truth. And I can see when they are passing, why so many people get afraid and are afraid to go to the other side. They're afraid of the connection with loved ones, or even with the divine on the other side. And this is huge. This is a huge piece. That's why it's so important for us to pray for those, to offer them up. The souls of the faithful departed in the mercy of God, rest in peace, amen. Sending the mercy, allowing for their souls to find peace, because there are so many souls right now, and especially when you get into wartime and things like that, or petulance and disease, and you get huge deaths, famines, and things like that. What happens is, and this is my perspective, what I see is that you get so many souls that are lost. That's why if you ever go to the battlefield, when they've had these huge battles, and hundreds or even thousands die, right? And you go to them, and you could still feel that energy there. I was just watching a clip of Scotland, and a part of Scotland where 600 Scotsmen died within less than 20 minutes, the Jacobites against the Brits. And when you go there, and I haven't been there, but just to see the pictures, you feel that vibration of those souls. And when we're in this time of great transformation and change, and entering into a new energetic frequency, a frequency that we haven't ever felt, it is scary. Many people are afraid, because it's like they don't understand. They don't understand this newness, this new transformation, this new transition that is happening. And so it's letting to let go can be extremely difficult, can be extremely daunting to do. And this is where, for us who are still on this earth walk, to understand that, and to shine it with love and light, and allowing for that love and light. And for those who have passed away, in these traumatic situations recently, or over the last few years, is to sending them love and light, to send, and pray for the souls of the faithful. It is, I find, especially in these times, it's going to really help us to continue the earth walk, to ascend upon this earth walk, and to step into more of this love and light energy, and to know that the highest form of this is truth. The highest form is truth. It's not hope. I hate when people say, "Oh, the highest thing is hope." No, hope is when it's hope to me is the last thing, and it's always been. It's like, man, it's when the Fukushima happened, it's like, oh my God, because it's the unknown. I sure hope that we're not going to get nuclear fallout on the West Coast, and that's where a lot of people were terrified of a huge nuclear fallout onto Vancouver and LA, and a tsunami, and the tsunami warnings that were going out at the time as well. And even people like I had loads of people calling me at that time. What do you think, Mama? What do you think? Are we going to be okay? Is everything going to be fine? Are we going to have a nuclear fallout? And like people were terrified, just terrified. And seeing, understanding and seeing what I was seeing, I say, no, we're going to be fine. And even within the people that around Fukushima, yes, there's going to be some deaths and that. And we never even really heard about a lot of the deaths. But in some areas around Fukushima, you can't even enter. Like stores were left, like all intact. With everything is still in there to this day. Like you cannot go in there and remove one item from there at all. Right. So stores left with everything still in there. Right. And that's so it's interesting. People just walked away from everything. Houses still intact. Right. And they even have a security to this day that goes around there to make sure that nobody goes in there and loots. But looting is very rare in Japan because people are a lot more honest than they are here. And plus they know that there's a retribution that's going to happen to them. There's that part as well. So I'm getting hair in my mouth. This is why I do my hair up. But this is all part of this new frequency that's coming in, and why it's so important for us to stay conscious, to stay away, and to be aware of it all that's coming forth. Especially over this next coming week, this next coming month. And as the sun goes in, the sun is going in to Taurus the day of the conjunction. So we have a sun in Taurus with a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, which is, wow, that's even more potent. And bringing in the potency, and then coming towards a full moon in Scorpio on the 25th. So we have that's coming in. So this is like there's a lot of acceleration, a lot of, that's coming forth, that's going to play out for us during this time. And that's why I say it's time for a new sheet of paper for us all, and for you to join me all in my meditation on Saturday night. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting one. So boop. The other thing is you guys can't even speak. If you all have a class that you want me to teach, because what I was thinking, and this is one of the things, this I do get thoughts sometimes when they come in, is I'm going to take a portion, even week 1 of Journey Club, and just take week 1 and make that into one class. So I've been told to take the first week of Journey Club and make it into one class. Like, let's just go over the first week of Journey Club. Because I guess that was quite, when I looked back on it, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot of information for the first week. But so I'm going to be doing, that, and that's going to, be like one class, and we can take that one week what I called 1 week, and we can go over it and do 4 parts of it, break it down, right? And do it that way. And that way it's because there's just so much information that comes in. And I know when I was teaching it before, my whole saying is that if you made it past week 4, you were doing really well. And a lot of people who didn't make it past week 4, I mean, they basically, it was just too overwhelming. There's too much was going on in their life at that time. So I'm just letting you know. So doing like the first week of Journey Club and doing it within a 4-week session with just week 1. And that way I can add different things in there to give you more tools for your toolkit, whether that has to do with crystals or incense or herbs or things along that line, so just an idea that's coming in. I didn't pull a herb yesterday. What happened to my don't know where my herb book went and where my book went. Must have gotten moved and everything. Oh, the other thing, or maybe it is over here. Is it over here? No. Where did I move it? Anyways, there is a book that I'm finding very interesting. I'll just show it to you. This book right now, Entering into Hecate's Cave, absolutely fabulous book. This one, and then my mummy one is a very good book too, but I can't find it. But this Hecate book has some really good good teachings in it. It is a book that has to be read cover to cover. It's not, unless you've worked with Hecate before. It's not a book to say, I'm going to jump into over here and then go over here. If you haven't worked with Hecate, I wouldn't be jumping around in this book. It is a book that really needs to be worked with from cover to cover, and it is a good book. So recommendation, I don't recommend too many books, but that's a recommended book for you guys. So I'll find my herb book. I'll find my herb book later, and we'll do it tomorrow as I continue to look for it, because it's annoying me. Interesting. Let's pull some cards. Ooh, we have the 7 of Wands. Funny. Why is that funny, Mary? Well, the 7 of Wands came out the other day because I had Mateus I have a deck that it's not a full deck. Parts are missing and I don't use it anymore. And he pulled the 7 of Wands. And he said, this is a pot. And he says, I think he's angry, Mama, but he's fighting his way through. And I said, oh, okay. Yeah. So this is, yes, he's fighting his way through. This is stepping into your new projects, your new ideas, your new passions. And this is where you'll require your full attention and planning. That's why he's fighting, right? He's fighting all of those things that are coming in through the ego, all of those things that are going to distract you and say, oh, look at this, do this, do this, do this. So here it comes, is that this is saying that, no, we're standing up to do what it is that we need to do, and looking at what are the battles that we need to pick and choose. It's like you can't fight all the battles, but if there's something there that's really stopping you from going forth with your new ideas and your new passion that you want to be doing, look at it. Look at what it is that you are wanting to do. And this is also where you have worked hard to know what you want. You know what you want. Sometimes you're afraid to do it for whatever reason. You're afraid to do it. And then with that, see, here comes the feather in your cap. Here comes the passion. Here comes the energy. Here comes the ideas. In comes the Knight or the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands, new ideas. He's smart. He knows his shit, right? So he knows what it is that he wants. He's rebellious. He's just this fire, this spark that says, I'm going to go do this. I don't care. And this is where now events and opportunities ahead. They're, looking at the new events, looking at the new opportunities. This is the guy. This is the Page of Wands reminds me of the person that says, you know what? I'm packing up, I'm selling everything, and I'm moving across the country. This is, I mean, this could be the extremes of him, right? He can just take you to these extremes because he has that knowing, has that creative idea. It's a new adventure that's beyond that he's just going on. And here it is. It's like you're looking at the egos and the things that you're fighting against with your new ideas, your new things that you want to start doing. In comes the page, and he says, I don't give a shit. We're just going to do it. Let's go on a road trip. We're going to make things happen. And this is like, despite the energy, it's a positive omen. This is a positive omen, and it celebrates the positivity and the goodness that you have in your life. So looking at this, a positive omen, and it's going to celebrate and take a spark, something new, something innovative is coming in. Hence, Uranus and Jupiter coming in. They're coming in. It's something new. And what are you envisioning for your future? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that taste like? And you got to follow the intuition, right? You got to follow that intuition. Page of Swords. He's opposite, he's like usually doesn't give a shit. I'm just going to do it because this is what I feel is right. When he's reversed, this is someone who's full of great plans, but has difficulty in manifesting them. He has difficulty in doing them. So you got this idea and you got this passion and everything. Don't be afraid to step out and do it. Because that's saying it's like, well, you're afraid. You got it, but you're afraid to do it. You're afraid to take that next step, whatever that next step is. So allowing yourself to step into the next step. And you could give yourself so many excuses of why not to do it. And that's where you fall down into the old ego, into the old ideas, into the oldness. All right. And this is to step up into something new. There you guys go. All right. So have a fabulous day. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you and all that you say and all you be and all you do. Have a fabulous, fabulous day. Have a beautiful day in Long Island, New York. The sun is shining. It seems to be there today. It's snowing here in Calgary. So not really cold, but it's just, it's snowing. We live in Alberta. What else is new? So have a blessed one, everybody. And we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.